Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to show you today is how the dirty little secret snuck out in a House congressional hearing all around gun control, domestic violence, all these little things from Lucy McBath. One of the witnesses let the cat out of the bag. Everything that I'm about to show you was recorded, so I can't actually link it because we recorded it live. Of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And let me hear you in the comments and send this one out because we have got to talk about something right here. So when I was putting these clips together, I got 3 of them for you, and it's incredibly important you see all 3 here. I was debating the order of how we're going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show and highlight the point that the gun controllers, in this case, Lucy McBath in the House, Democrat from Georgia, big-time gun controller, big-time mom demand action, how she frames this. And then I'm going to show you the gun rights response, and then I'm going to show you the gun control response. Watch this.
Share your stories. But I do want to say that abusers should not have access to firearms, plain and simple. If someone has a history of abusive and violent behavior, the very least that we can do in this Congress is make it harder for them to obtain those firearms and those weapons that they might use to harm their victims.
Okay, so there's the premise that she sets up, okay? So now I want to draw your attention to 2 different things that what I'm about to show you. One, we're going to do the gun rights one first because it undermines gun control really well and eloquently. And then I'm going to show you the gun control one, which lets the cat out of the bag. But the first thing that I want you to notice is the optics in this clip I'm about to show you. Remember, Lucy McBath is joined at the hip to Moms Demand Action. Shannon, Salty Shannon, yeah, she and her are besties. So she's no doubt gun control. You'd expect to see Moms Demand Action t-shirts behind him in that obnoxious red. Yeah. Look at this. Little surprise, you guys will like.
In what ways might strict gun control laws inadvertently put women in disadvantages against an attacker?
Well, anytime if you have a concealed carry and there's a waiting period, like Ms. Solomon mentioned, that waiting period for me, when I didn't have a concealed carry license, when that person was trying to kill me, and the waiting period to take the class, that was very detrimental. I didn't know if I was going to make it because I had no way to defending myself. And I understand the criminals have a way of breaking the law. That my abuser was going to do the ultimate. He wanted to kill me. He actually was trying to buy plastic explosives, which are illegal, and I had no way to defend myself. I didn't have a concealed carry weapons license. I lived each day wondering if that would be my last day. So the laws need to empower the victims because the ones that are trying to control their abuser are not working. The restraining order does not work. Red flag laws do nothing but they cause me more of a problem because anyone that wants to can disarm me with no valid reason.
So she hit a few things there. The number one thing that I want to highlight, and then I'll show you the optics thing. We should empower the victims. We should not attempt to restrict the abusers because the abusers are ignoring the laws and they're failing. Meanwhile, the victims are left in the wind because you're applying controls on them as well. This is the whole point. Empower the victims. Empower those that would need to be empowered through the use of a Second Amendment right. That's the entire point. She said that excellently. I also love the fact that she goes in with red flag laws, which are unconstitutional across the board, and she goes against the fact that restraining orders just simply don't work because people are going to do what they want to do because they're freaking criminals. Empower the victims. Anyway, that's a big part of it. That's important. But remember that thing I said about t-shirts behind? Usually you'd see red t-shirts here that says Moms Demand Action or Students Demand Action. Yeah, they got boosted to the second row. You know what you're seeing instead? That's something called womenforgunrights.org. That used to be the DC Project. That is an organization that pushes for women's rights with their firearms. Uh-oh, change of optics, Shan. What you gonna do? So that was just something I just want to throw out there because I really enjoy seeing a different color than that obnoxious Mom Demand Red action, or Moms Demand Action Red. But now that I've gotten my little ska in there for the Salty Shannon, I might have to make like an award or something. Salty Shannon just works. Yeah, anyway, rabbit. This is what the actual Democrat witness said, and this is where the cat comes out of the bag. Remember, gun rights advocate says we should empower the victim. Gun control advocate says this.
And I would suggest that we have other means by which we can protect women other than having a firearm and having it accessible. We can work on the dating and stalking boyfriend the loopholes. We can talk about prevention by having Congress support DELTA and the rape intervention strategies that we've employed. There are many other solutions. What I'd like to point out is that the solution is limiting access to the firearm, whether it's in the hands of the victim of domestic violence or whether it's as someone who is abusive belonging to them. So the solution is really limiting the access.
Could not be more clear of a distinction. The solution is limiting the access to the abused and also the abuser. So it's the net approach that they always like to do. Just take the guns away. Nothing bad will happen. What? So you just heard the Democratic witness say, limit the rights of the abused or the victim. Meanwhile, the gun rights advocate said, empower the victim. Which one of those seems like it aligns more to women's rights, more to helping the victims in domestic violence? Which of those do you think aligned more? Because the left and the gun controllers will tell you all day long that they care about women more, and their witness in Congress just said, limit the victim's ability to defend themselves along with the abuser. The abuser's ignoring the laws, and that's their solution because they care about women so much. If you can't see through this, I got nothing, but they are not for the talking points that they say they're for, particularly when the gun rights argument is empower those that you were saying you were for, but the Democrats say, no, we're not going to do that. That's not a good idea. Cannot be more clear. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm Braden. See you there.